looks incredible. What you doing there,
thank
bud?
you. I've been tying my hair back recently. It's getting pretty fucking long now.
I thought it was cut.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Cute.
Man bun / tail pony.
Fuck off.
I thought there was gonna be
You're
more
like
of
a
an
rat
I
tail at
think
this point.
almost everyone in this podcast has a man tail except for me and Chris.
What?
What?
Huh?
No.
Is that
What?
a dick joke?
Ah, penis.
It's a front tail though, and it only waves.
On that
sometimes.
note, hello everybody, and welcome to the VGRCast, the weekly podcast
Wow,
about anything and
Monica
everything
made me
in
face palm
between. This week I'm joined by my lovely friends Mike, Ryan, Steve, Monica, and my lovely fiance Chris. My name's Kev. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for the how many resubs is that,
make
Nat?
me a
28
dickhead?
subs. Thank you.
Oh shit, son!
28 months.
Don't forget to renew your subs and also sub. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. We have a new fish tank.
Yeah.
That's what took 2
Oh,
weeks.
boy.
Was that fish take alone.
Yep.
Yep. It was all because of
absolutely.
that fish tank. We were getting that fish tank ready. That's why we haven't done a
He
podcast
couldn't stream.
in 2 weeks.
He couldn't stream. It was all into that fish tank.
That's why you got the house, just so you could like fill it with fish tanks.
Don't
Absolutely.
call me out like this, Mike.
Keep calling him out like that.
He's not the only one with the problem though.
Yeah,
Speaking
I didn't want to get the 150-gallon fish tank, but someone needed a 150
I want
gallon
my
fish
bala
tank.
sharks, you bitch.
That one's not set up yet.
Anyway, speaking of new things,
Speaking of new things and why we haven't been streaming,
can I tell the story?
Sure.
Thank you. We are taking care of my grandma's dog because her name is Belle, the dog. She had surgery on her leg to fix an ACL tear. So because my grandma's not able to take care of her while she's recovering from surgery, my mom and my dad dropped her off.
Shit, hold on. There you go.
And oh god,
What the hell was that?
that was his desktop. My mom and dad dropped her off, and she's been doing really well so far. She's not super confused or anything like that, but she's a little miniature poodle. She's 10 years old, and she's the cutest little thing.
Sorry, Steve. She's covering your face right now.
Wow.
Steve is the dog now.
That picture.
Been compared to golden retriever before.
That picture is.
too.
I was singing a certain note, and she really enjoyed that note. So.
Yes. So last week we were busy
I was
getting her accustomed and
getting
stuff.
her settled, and my parents bought us dinner, so that's why we didn't do the podcast last week. 2 weeks
Yes.
ago, I had a bad brain day, so
Has it really been? Did we really miss the podcast that week?
yeah.
It's been a bit.
No, it's only been a week, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that was the
It was
last
the
break,
one
I think.
before the last podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we should be okay. She's currently sleeping in her kennel on the first floor. She's now taken over the guest bedroom when we're away and for nighttime in a big dog kennel.
Yeah, she good.
So she finished her anti-inflammatories, and she just has her antibiotic and her pain med. So when we're done with the podcast, she gets her pain med.
Nice.
But she's been good. She's a good little girl.
As Danny tolerated Belle.
Actually, yeah. Her nemesis is still Soko.
Because
So-
Soko's a dickhead.
So we're supposed
Not
to.
that Soko dickhead. He's just young and is like,
He's
pay
a-
attention to
Yeah,
me.
he's not even a
Pay
year
it-
yet. He'll be a year. June 28th.
Well, he's a dickhead to Daddy.
Well, yeah, because he
because
wants
he
to
won't
play. He wants to play, and then he wants to be next to her. What are you
Do push-ups.
Oh, okay. And
Don't
but
stick your butt up so much.
Soko doesn't really
He doesn't understand
with her either.
boundaries.
So, well, no, he doesn't really mess with Belle either. So, but yeah, Danny's actually. We were watching Stranger
My
Things.
ass cannot be contained.
We were watching Stranger Things on the couch before this, and Belle was on the chase part of the couch. Danny was on the pillow on the back of the chase, and Soko was in the window. And they were all sleeping.
Is that up here?
No, we don't have any pets right now.
Through the window.
Your fish tank.
Oh, yay! Why don't you give Sarge a treat? Because I don't know if Tucker will take it. Yeah.
I'll feed a fish.
Stream wasn't on for that, but so now we have two betas up here: a red one in the small gallon named Sarge, and a blue one, blue and red, in the bigger one named Tucker, named after the red versus blue characters.
Yeah.
And then we also got another fish this weekend who's in the 40-gallon. It's called a pandagara.
So many fish.
And it eats algae. I'm super excited. We named him Poe he named it after the Kung Fu Panda. And then I was like, I like
He's
Edgar
a
Allan
pandagara.
Poe. So his name is also Edward Allan Poe. So, Edgar.
Disney
not
has
Edgar.
rotted my brain.
Edgar.
I defaulted to the Star Wars character.
Edgar
Same.
Allan Poe. Oh, that would work too.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
You and me are in the same wavelength because I thought of Poe Dameron too. I'm
Yeah.
also watching Moon Knight, so that's probably
But
why.
no, I mean, yeah. So we did lose one of our fish. We lost our last gourami.
Macaroni.
He actually died in Kevin's hand because Kevin was trying to revive him.
I was trying to resuscitate him.
It wasn't
You
working.
know, water helps.
No.
So there's a thing where if you have a fish that's not doing well, you can put it kind of in direct flow with a filter, and that kind of helps. That can help revive it. So I was trying to do that, and he kind of died while I was doing that.
Yeah.
So are you gonna get another male fish and name it Finn for Poe?
No,
We could.
because that's stupid.
I mean, we could get another dwarf gourami and put it in that tank with him.
No.
Anyways, it's better than dead fish.
Can I drink now?
Cocktails.
A lot of things.
Today's Kev's cocktail.
Also, before we get to that, I cannot let you get away with the fact that your fucking desktop is also a fish. You fucking fish nerd.
Okay, actually, Kevin-
as your desktop background, like the rest of us.
Oh,
you
hi,
fuck.
baby. Hi. So Danny did come up. You do owe her a treat as well.
Is it still a fish? There it is. Oh, they're two betas. Look at that.
One's an alpha, one's
Summon
a beta.
back. There we
Oh,
go.
no.
Got it back. Okay, today's Kev's cocktail. Today,
I can drink now.
last time I kind of took you on a little adventure to Japan with Midori. Today, we're going to France.
What the fuck are you doing?
Today, I've got a cocktail featuring the Elderflower Liqueur Saint Germain. It's a liqueur you've probably seen on your grandpa's bar cart. It's in a really tall kind of
Kevin's calling
hexagon
himself a
bottle. And it's elderflower liqueur, so it's very floral and stuff like that. And this is a French gimlet, so it's kind of like a take on a classic gimlet, which is a gin-based drink. So it's gin and Saint Germain. So cheers.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I don't think my grandpa's allowed to have a bar cart. He almost pulled a gun on a FedEx employee.
That is...
And I was gonna say,
Pause.
that's hilarious, and this is delicious. Don't look at me,
there's
look
my
at the camera.
grandpa who doesn't even have a bar cart and has not had a drink in his 85-ish years on this planet. So
I
Thank
have
you
not
for the clippable material, Mike. That was great.
That's what I'm here for.
I have not seen.
Danny.
I have never heard of or
I'm so
seen a
mad.
bar cart until I saw y'all, like you two, have one in your apartment.
Or a bar shelf, or a shelf, or something.
We also have a bar shelf over in the dining room.
What do you think? What do you think all of our counter space was in college, Mike and Ryan? Bar shelf.
Oh, so I kind of have while we're talking about alcohol, I just kind of thought of this. So my great aunt died I think like a year and a half ago, and my great uncle's been cleaning out their house, giving away a lot of stuff because she, not a hoarder, but kept way too many things. So when we were over there, we came across this. It's in Swedish, so you won't be able to read it.
Say that looks Swedish as fuck, which is
It's
pretty on brand.
Zingaton.
It is Swedish as fuck. I forgot to mention my great uncle is Swedish as fuck, as in straight from Sweden. Swedish as fuck.
I can confirm.
Yes. It's some kind of liquor in like some spices down at the bottom here. From what he translated, it's basically a make your own whiskey kit or something like whiskey kit. And as far as I can tell, this is at least 60 years old, if not older.
Have you tried it yet?
I haven't yet. I'm a little scared to, but
Drink it now, you coward.
I might actually. I actually popped the top, and it doesn't smell terrible. It actually smells pretty good. You dare me to?
Why not?
Do it.
I'm gonna try
Also,
it.
Listen, I
Hold on.
drank the 150 proof rum before, so you got to try this
Alright,
now.
hold on.
Also, while Steve does that, I don't know if you guys follow that one Twitter account that puts Paddington into everything. He put Paddington into a Hot Ones interview.
right, hold on.
I just retweeted it. That's amazing.
I was gonna make a joke about Swedish Malort, but it turns out Malort is actually Swedish.
It is, yes.
Huh. I have vodka from Ohio.
That's
Does
nice.
that mean
Mike.
anything?
I don't want to touch that with a 50-foot pole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that
if
part of the
I-
alcohol
this
you
is
got
on
from your
guys.
neighbor?
Yes, it is.
What kind of glass you pouring that into?
Fancy schmancy glass. My brother got me.
Oh, what kind of alcohol is it again? Did you say?
I have absolutely no idea.
And
Okay.
before
Look
Steve
it up.
fucking dies.
Hey, at least we have recording of what killed him, so Vanessa can't be held liable.
Watson.
Prost to whatever the fuck
He
this shit
can't be
is.
Okay.
held liable, or we might be
Bingo
held
bot-
liable.
Who said
That's true.
Svingovatten? Literally everything I find for it is all the links are in Swedish.
It burns, but it's
What does it taste like? Is it like bitter? Is it like herbal? Is it
not
like
sure.
sweet? Is it
hold on.
Hands
sour?
off, Ryan.
Yes, translate to English.
Don't hit my space bar.
Was going in for a second go. Must not be that bad.
It hits hard. It like evaporates off my lips. It's weird.
I literally cannot find a link
What's it
to
called?
any of this in English.
What's it called?
It's
Hey, put it
Vingovatten?
into Google Translate. That'll help you.
It's, who's Vaderns Winkelvatten?
Whose father is a Dingleheimer?
It's
Who's Vatten?
I wouldn't. It's.
I think Vatten
It's
is father.
certainly alcohol. It has. I can't really describe the flavors, but it's definitely like it's heavily spiced. My lips are burning. I don't know how long it's been in. It's been in there for I don't know how long.
Ooh.
So it fuck you, Harry.
So,
Was it
Send
ever
a picture
open
of it in the
before
chat.
you just opened
yeah,
it?
yeah.
so, just in case Steve has an allergic reaction and passes out.
I think I actually am. I think I actually am reacting a little bit to it.
Wait, what are you allergic to?
I get a mild allergic reaction to alcohol. I get the Asian glow.
What?
That-
Why would you take alcohol
know.
then?
It's not like harmful. It goes away like after a little bit. All right, I'm gonna finish this.
Who's my beautiful boy?
Anyways, while Steve maybe needs to go to the doctor, Monica, what movie did you watch?
Well, good news is that we've got a double feature, so that way Steve has some time to recover. So, unfortunately, I don't have a very good link between the movies. They are very opposite for what they are, because the whole thing is that recently Nat and I have started looking at potentially moving out of apartment life and looking at purchasing like a condo or townhome. And if you don't know, the American housing market right now is utter dog shit.
Oh,
It's a
if you're
seller's
a
market.
buyer, yes.
It's a seller's
Yeah.
market.
Yes. So, and it's also got some very challenging concepts to wrap your head around if you are unfamiliar. And Nat and I thought a couple of weeks ago, what better way to try to understand where everything just all went wrong through Margot Robbie explaining real estate jargon to us in a bathtub. We're going to talk about The Big Short today.
Oh.
So, Big Short is directed and written by Adam McKay, whose name I talked about recently because he made Don't Look Up. This came out in 2015. So
No.
about,
Sorry.
fuck me, the 7 years ago now? Math. Fuck, 2015 was a while ago. It follows the stories of 3 different people: Dr. Michael Burry, Mark Baum, and these pair of guys, Charlie Geller and Jamie Shipley, from about 2005 to 2008, as all of them realize how fragile the housing market is and how they can basically bet against the housing market and profit greatly from it. And this is all based on a true story. The only actual name that they use in the movie is Dr. Michael Burry. The other two groups are based on real figures, but they changed the names. In fact, allegedly, it is a very accurate, based on a true story with
True
it
story,
claiming
story.
like 91% accurate to actual events. And while these are true events, in I mean, a lot of us saw Don't Look Up recently, so if you've seen those types of movies,
Don't
you
spoil
kind
it.
of know the type of. I'm not planning
Okay,
on it.
thank you.
That kind of satire style that Adam McKay kind of has when discussing these types of issues, and there is a lot of high level real estate and stock market terms where someone like me who doesn't really follow stocks or
Stonks.
yeah, all of that, they have ways of explaining that. The aforementioned Margot Robbie in a bathtub, explaining just complex real estate terms, and
Why is she in a bathtub?
don't
Why
worry
not?
about it. Don't worry about it. But also just these very over-exaggerated portrayal of these Wall Street bros as well. And I forgot to mention, it's starring Christian Bale, Steve Carell,
Of course,
Ryan
Christian
Gosling,
Bale's in that.
Brad Pitt, and it has appearances with Marissa Tomei and Hamish Linklater, aka Father Paul.
Oh.
Oh,
Father Paul.
oh, there he is.
Shut the fuck up, Harry.
I saw your
and-
tail. Where'd it go?
And the snappy editing is still present here. I mean, you can argue this was originated in more so in this type of movie versus Don't Look Up, but I saw Don't Look Up first, so that's my comparison point. So the snappy editing is here, and instead of creating more of a feeling of like the presence of social media and whatnot, it's more painting a picture of those mid-2000s vibe. It captures it perfectly, with the exception, there's a scene in particular where one of the groups of main characters is talking to these Wall Street bros, and they're wearing these polos, and I'm like, bullshit, this is the mid-2000s. Their collars aren't popped. And while the movie does its best to try to introduce this world of real estate bonds, I personally had a difficult time following the jargon, which in turn made it difficult to follow the plot line and get a gauge of the time and stakes. That might just be more of a me thing, rather than the failure of the movie, because they do, like I said, it does its best to try to lay out these terms for you. That being said, doesn't mean it's a bad movie by any means. And just because I personally had a hard time wrapping my head around it doesn't mean I can see the message being displayed and the fantastic performances that were given. Because one of the things, Margot Robbie in a bathtub drinking champagne. So much champagne, in fact, that she was very worried about remembering her lines between takes. That's a fun behind-the-scenes fact.
Wait, it was real champagne?
Apparently.
What, that just seems like a bad life choice.
Yeah, it's fine.
She picked up method acting from Jared Leto.
Oh God.
Well, I mean,
one of the things I do really love about this movie is the fourth wall is very malleable. And I'm always here whenever, like, any sort of media, movies, theater, whatnot, always here for fourth wall breaks. So I do love that. One of the things that I found very interesting, and really disappointed that I didn't do a deeper dive on this on when I did Don't Look Up, is that when Adam McKay pitched The Big Short to the studios only agreed to financing The Big Short is if he made a sequel to Anchorman, which I learned he also directed. That and Talladega Nights.
Yeah, I was looking him up when you mentioned him, and he is the Will Ferrell director.
Oh.
Like, the past 15 years.
oh nice.
Yes.
Now it makes
And
sense.
also did The Landlord, that little
Brothers.
short too. Yeah, so that was a very big surprise. That fucking blew my mind recently. And this movie was nominated for 5 Oscars: Adapted Screenplay, Best Picture, Supporting Actor in Christian Bale, directing, and editing, ended up winning for adapted screenplay. So just to give some perspective about the year it was up, it was up for the Oscars the same year as Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Danish Girl, and The Revenant. So, that Oscars.
The one where he
so-
didn't get a Oscar. Sorry.
Yes. Overall, it was personally not my cup of tea, but I'm still willing to recommend it for someone who has a better grasp of these concepts and enjoys McKay's satirical style.
I did like The
And-
Revenant.
The Revenant was amazing.
Sorry.
And
Sorry.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Are you about to transition to the next movie?
Yes, I was. So if you
I
had
would
any,
I would just like to point out that, like, if you can't, I'm not sure how well the camera's picking it up, but my face got extremely blotchy after drinking that.
Oh, yeah,
Holy
look at that.
shit!
Yeah. So.
okay, well, while we wait for the blotch to go down, so
Yeah.
So then this past week, because of our house, is that there was a movie that was in theaters for the weekend that we were fully intending to see. However, because of our aforementioned house hunting adventures,
Sonic 2,
we,
right?
we missed the showing.
Was it Sonic 2?
Luckily, thanks to HBO Max, we were still able to catch the classic Singin' in the Rain.
Oh. Never seen it.
So it came out in 1952, so it turned 70 this year.
It's old.
Yeah. Starring Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, Debbie Reynolds, and Gene Hagen. And directed by Stanley Donen and Gene Kelly. So and I've heard of Singin' in the Rain previously. I've heard it mentioned. I've seen the poster. There's a lot of the songs that I knew of that were from it that I heard on other occasions. The only thing I'd seen previously to seeing this movie is Nat explicitly showed me the Make 'em Laugh sequence because that was one of his favorite scenes from that movie as a kid, which in watching it explains so much about Nat, honestly. Like, that's worth a Google on its own. But anyway, so it's something I've heard of a lot, but I never knew the basic plot of. So the basic plot is that it surrounds these two silent film stars, Don Lockwood, played by Gene Kelly, and Lena Lamont, played by Gene Hagen, are the toast of Hollywood. But with the success of The Jazz Singer, for those who don't know, that was the first movie to ever feature sound in it, their studio wants to start producing talking pictures. The story follows their transition from silent to talking with the help of Don Lockwood's childhood friend, played by Donald O'Connor, and an unlikely encounter, played by Debbie Reynolds. Despite being an older movie, it ages surprisingly well, given the quick humor, tons of slapstick, and commentary on movie studios desperately trying to grab onto the next big thing. So, I know one of the things we've talked to, I can't remember who I talked about this previously, if it was you guys or Nat or both, but there's a lot of talk about Marvel recording fight scenes before the script was even written. A lot of the musical numbers in there had that similar type of feel where they had these ideas for these musical and dance numbers, but they felt kind of disconnected from the story itself, and it almost felt like these were put in to show the prowess of Gene Kelly and all of these dance numbers. That being said, there's a lot of dancing in this movie, and it is obviously fantastic. That's one of the big things the movie is known for, is just all of these impeccable dance numbers. And with the dance numbers, some of these scenes are so disconnected that it feels like a fever dream. At points, like, wait a minute, where did we go off to in this movie? Like, there's a sequence in there called the Broadway Ballet, which I think is like a 10-minute sequence or so, that is just a fantasy scene. And it has a lot of great dancing in it, but it's not very well connected to the story. And in terms and there's a lot of famous behind the scenes trivia with Singing in the Rain. Like, for instance, Gene Kelly was a notorious perfectionist and was an absolute terror to Debbie Reynolds, who was kind of just starting out. There's a very interesting story that Gene Kelly was such a dick to her that she was crying on the studio, and Fred Astaire found her crying and was talking to her and was like, you know what, I can help tutor you with your dancing. Yeah, and there's a lot of and while the technicality of the dancing is very incredible, a lot of the actors were very much pushed to their limits. Debbie Reynolds danced so hard she burst a blood vessel in her foot. During the famous Singing in the Rain, where Gene Kelly's like in the rain swinging on the light pole, he had a 103-degree fever the day he filmed that scene.
That's no bueno.
And then in the aforementioned Make 'Em Laugh, Donald O'Connor was hospitalized after the initial filming of that because it was so physically demanding, and the man was smoking 4 packs of cigs a day.
Oh, jeez.
How is he not dead?
Well, he's dead now.
Well, yeah, but like...
Of what?
Pneumonia.
Force trauma.
Oh. And one of the very interesting things is that it is such a classic, but at the time it was released, it wasn't a huge success since audiences had been so enamored with An American in Paris the previous year, which also starred Gene Kelly. So, to quote Debbie Reynolds from the movie, you've seen one, you've seen them all, which was very, very interesting. So overall, like plot-wise, it doesn't have a lot of depth, as movies of that era typically don't. I mean, there's a good chunk of the movie that relies on Lena Lamont being jealous of Debbie Reynolds' character to move that forward, which is a little infuriating to me. But, you know, it was the time. But the movie is an absolute spectacle, and if you just have 90 minutes to kill and want to just watch something fun and colorful, and it's worth a watch. As stated, it is on HBO Max.
Nice.
So, you know, I've done my timing with talking about the movies, it was just not great. It was just not great. If I were to go back and work on my flow and make it sound a lot better, maybe I could transition a little better from topic to topic.
You gotta enunciate more.
I gotta enunciate more.
More emotion,
like
but less
emotion.
crying.
I need more crying.
Cry!
I need more crying.
Sorry, Danny. I didn't mean to
more
scream at
crying.
you. She just gave me the bitchiest
For
look.
those who didn't watch Only Murders in the Building, we're transitioning to Only Murders in the Building now.
Ooh.
Only Murders in the Building is our current.
attempted.
No, I mean, I literally had nothing, so that was I was just gonna go like, okay, now we're moving on.
I think that's the first time we've planned out a transition.
Yeah, I'm gonna just throw up a little because I don't have images.
Are you gonna throw up a
Alright.
little?
Fuck, I forgot to watch.
I thought Steve was gonna be the one that
Yeah,
throws up a little.
exactly.
I don't know. How are you
sorry.
doing, Steve?
Googling things.
No. How are you? How are you
Will
feeling?
this alcohol kill
How to
me?
DoorDash an EpiPen? What the
Well,
fuck?
What about DoorDash?
Are you Googling how to DoorDash an EpiPen?
No, I was. So basically, I never used to react to alcohol like this, and I saw a post a couple years ago. I was like, oh, if you react to that, you might have cancer, and I'm just like,
was it a WebMD?
I mean that is the internet's first response. I have a headache. It's cancer.
Well, no,
It's
it
brain.
actually is something you can have cancer for anyway, but still. I'm probably fine. I'm not going to worry about it too much.
For now.
All right, so we've got spoiler alert on right now because we're talking about Only Murders in the Building.
Bye, Harry.
if you have not watched Only Murders in the Building and want to watch Only Murders in the Building, I suggest you tune out for the next probably about 15 minutes.
Spoiler alert.
This is
Only
new.
murders happen in buildings.
Well,
No, we're only talking about the murders that happened in the building, not the ones in the park.
yep.
Only the murders in the building.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
I don't know. So this is
We
a
might be-
show about a podcast.
Well, that's a start.
It's a show about a podcast.
No shit.
About three people who come together from their love of a podcast, specifically a murder podcast.
I like
True
murder.
crime podcasts.
I like
They're a thing.
murder.
Yes, Chris.
It is
Chris
very
listens
fun.
And watches too much of them.
They live in New York.
And I'm very curious, Chris. That being said, because they've got some very pointed commentary about the type of people that consume a lot of those true crime podcasts
Fucking
and
detective.
media. And
To quote the security guard, what fucking podcast are you hooked on?
No, not security card.
That was a
That's
cop.
that's a
That was a
that's the
detective.
detective.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's an important distinction.
So, just
As
to
you can even fucking talk. Sorry.
So, just in case anyone's wondering, the Arcadia is not a real building.
It's not the Arcadia in this. It's the Arcadia in How I Met Your Mother.
This
It's
building's
the
called the
Arcada.
No, it's the Arcadia, or it is Arcation.
Yeah, it's the Arcation. It's the Arcadia in How I Met Your Mother.
Hey.
Arconia.
fight.
It's the Arconia in
Arconia.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arconia.
That actually sounds-
and
that
then
sounds
yeah,
right.
in How I Met Your Mother, it's the Arcadia.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing for us because we like How I Met Your Mother.
Have you
Anyways,
binged it yet?
Oh,
We're actually
always.
rewatching it now.
For bedtime.
For those who don't know us, Chris and I have bedtime shows because we like falling asleep with noise on.
Futurama.
So we just rewatch the same shows, and then once we find a show we like, we add it to the cycle. No, we have Futurama, Scrubs, How I Met Your Mother, Avatar, Blue Mountain
Okay, that's a
State,
new one.
How can you sleep to
iZombie.
Avatar?
Blue Mountain State, iZombie,
Soul Eater sometimes.
You've expanded your repertoire since we lived
Disenchantment.
together. That's nice.
Oh yeah, Disenchantment.
and but see,
Which we
before
still
we were also kind of beholden to what was streaming. Now you can pretty much find anything streaming anywhere if you want to. Anyways,
Anyways, it opens up with the three types of people in New York City: a nice washed-up celebrity, a cold hard ass, and a theater director. Those are the only three types of people in New York City.
pick,
But
pick a click.
Steve Martin's character in particular, the washed up celebrity, his intro was a very deep cut on like social media people. Like if you're
Yeah.
there's this phenomena that's been popping up lately, especially with Twitch streamers, called trauma dumping, where people in chat will kind of just offload their problems onto the person that they're watching.
I
Don't do that.
That
I
is
have experience with that.
yeah.
There was
And
someone that would pop into my chat every now and again, back a couple years ago. That was kind of like would have like kind of depressing kind of vibes, and I was kind of like I tried to cheer him up and stuff, but I was just kind of like,
Go away.
no, it wasn't necessarily go away. Like I'm here, like I'll listen to people if they have problems, but like
Not a therapist.
I'm not a therapist. No, I'll listen to your problems. You can vent to me, and I'll kind of talk to you about them. But go get help. Go get help.
But I think the way the show did it is very smart in that this is how awkward it looks when you do in real life. It's just as awkward online,
Yeah.
but people don't recognize that.
The ALS bit, my note is the ALS bit is weirdly hilarious. I'm just like, oh, this is fucked up. What's happening right now?
But it's also
Yeah.
kind of clever in that like they made like it comes from a personal connection that the guy has with Steve Martin's character, that his dad loved his show and that he was on it. So like on his end, he sees a connection there, but on Steve Martin's end, he's like, I don't know who you are.
Do you need an autograph?
Which was, but then he asks, do you want a picture? Then he takes a picture of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was very
That was
confused.
awesome.
that was fucking hilarious.
It was really
Hilarious.
funny.
Well, I mean,
That
but just
the subversion of expectations, where
Mhm.
Yeah.
he thinks he's like, oh, you're gonna get a picture of me, with you for your dad, when in reality he's just like, just take a picture.
Rewinding 10 seconds to what Mike said about the whole, like, I don't know you kind of thing. I mean, we're seeing that a lot these days of, like, content creators, even on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, having to tell people, like, you don't know me.
Parasocial relationships.
Yeah, like, yes, you know me, but I don't know you. Like, you don't know me in real life. Like, you might see how I act on screen.
That's not
but,
necessarily
like,
how
we're
I
not
act
friends.
in real life. Yeah.
Like, even if you think you know me very well because of content that I make, like, you don't really know me. And, like, the whole
Makes me
thing
a
with,
little
like,
sad, but
Meg Turney and
yeah.
Gavin Free, you know, like, 8 years ago now, where someone broke into their house.
Yeah, that was. Oof.
If you don't know that story, Meg Turney is she's a Twitch streamer, but she's also a model, and someone thought that he deserved to be with her instead of Gavin, so he broke into her house with the intent of killing Gavin.
Oh.
And and like they had to like hide, and like luckily they woke up when he broke in, and they hid in the closet and called the police.
But still.
But yeah, it's still one of those crazy things where it's like the internet brings people together, but can kind of do it in the wrong way.
Yeah, although on the flip side, jumping around a little bit, that I do love the way, because while it does show that side, it also shows the way that fandom kind of connects people, because these three types of people you wouldn't expect to be connected, and just them going, but what the fuck was in the dog's mouth?
And then so I don't want to keep bringing it back to Rooster Teeth, but on the Rooster Teeth podcast, Bernie.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know, but Bernie Burns always talks about how the internet's a wonderful place, because if you're into something weird, you can find someone else who's into the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, if there's something you've thought of, someone else has thought of it. Like, if you think that you're weird for thinking you're into something or interested in something, someone else is probably interested in that thing too. But yeah, so our three protagonists bond over their podcast or whatever. Someone dies.
Yeah, his name
Tim.
is Tim.
Yeah, a guy they met in the elevator earlier.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a murder in their building.
What? Who could have guessed?
Drink.
She said
Drink.
Ah!
Not you, Steve. You better drink drinking water.
Said the magic word. Ah!
I didn't even grow up with that show.
Oh, I love Pee-wee's Playhouse. I love the
I
shit out
never
of
watched
Pee-wee's
it.
Playhouse.
My mom does a
I saw a few
weirdly
episodes
accurate
with Monica,
Pee-wee
but
Man.
other than that, I was just like, what the fuck is happening and how many drugs am I on?
I found my bag.
All of them at the same
Stop.
time.
My mom does a really creepy impersonation, and it's good.
Any impersonation of Pee Wee Herman is creepy.
Yep. So
wish
jumping
Joe's
around,
I
because
can't
I mean,
do one.
we were kind of discussing before the podcast starts. This is not going to be like a super in-depth discussion kind we had with the Mike Flanagan things, just because this is very surface level so far. But the one thing I did find interesting was the kind of symbolism with the bouncing back scene.
Yeah, the Claire de Lune.
Yeah, where
Yes.
everything was
I
bouncing
like
back
that.
at them, kind of like it was kind of like they had all kind of given up on, like, you know, pursuing this new avenue of something to do, and then they all kind of at the same time had the same, like, I'm not done yet.
I wanted
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted so bad in the Steve Martin sequence of that for him to drop the pan and it just stays there.
I also kept asking, why is he wasting so many eggs?
We're gonna find.
I know it's
No,
answered.
we're gonna
It's answered.
find.
Yeah.
We're gonna find
Wait,
out.
is it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
How?
because his wife used to make those eggs.
Not wife, just well, probably wife. They didn't actually
I didn't actually catch that.
They didn't
Yeah,
actually
it-
confirm
when-
whether or not he had a wife.
When he was in the hallway going into his apartment, his neighbor was like,
Oh, yeah. No, you're
like,
right. You're
what are
right.
you always cooking? Like, oh, that's the way she used to make them, right?
Oh, for those of you who you might recognize that guy. For those of you who watched 30 Rock,
Nope.
I
he's,
watched a lot of 30 Rock, but never like followed it.
it's Jonathan from like Jack's assistant.
Oh, I know Jack.
Yeah.
Love Jack.
I would like to. I would like to when they're all bonding together in the coffee shop or a restaurant or whatever it is, and they're all listening to the podcast. Random Tina Fey cameo.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love
that was
it.
crazy.
Cameo.
I completely missed that.
What?
Yeah, she was the one when they would flash to the scenes in the podcast. She was the main one looking around.
She was the main character in the
Oh.
podcast.
Yeah, she was.
Who directs this? They must have ties to
That was
NBC.
so funny though. Like, I love Selena's character so much.
Well,
Like,
what am I talking? Sorry.
I love Mabel. She's awesome.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, of course, as CBS and NBC types, I'm pretty sure NBC owned Hulu
Yeah,
or is
probably.
part of Hulu.
No, Disney owns Hulu, I think.
Well, no,
Well,
but
Disney
I think
owns everything now.
Disney owns NBC.
Disney's
No, they
like-
own ABC. NBC's owned by Universal.
Oh.
So there's a really awkward conversation between Martin Short's character and his son. Who Martin? Most of their names escape me, so I'm just gonna
That's fine.
call them
Just call them by
specify their
yeah.
actor names.
By their
except
real
Mabel.
names,
I know
you mean?
Mabel, but what?
You said their actor names. Their real names.
Yeah, the real names. That's what I meant. The characters act whatever.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I also did not recall Martin Short. So.
Oh yeah, I just know Mabel.
I don't remember Steve Martin's character's name or Martin Short's
Okay,
character's
I do
name,
like
so.
the
Yeah,
fact
not
that
at
he
all.
pushes his bulldog around in a stroller. It makes me so happy.
It's cute.
Anyway.
But yeah, they have a conversation with his son. He has a conversation with his son that basically he needs money to keep up the it's not rent, I guess, property taxes on the apartment, I guess, or
It is actually. It's
both,
weird.
I
I think they
it's-
call it building fees.
They call it
Yeah,
building
that's
fees.
it.
I think it's like there's something weird in New York. It's like rent controlled or something.
Well,
like that.
there are.
Yeah.
Well, so that's a thing just in metropolitan areas. Essentially, there are some buildings that are rent controlled. In other words, the landlords don't control the. I believe what it means is the landlords don't control the rent. The city does. But their building is probably too high end to be in that thing. They're probably also condos, so they probably have either bought. I mean, it sounds like most of them have already bought their condos, so they don't like owe rent or anything. But they probably do owe property taxes, and the building fee is probably like an HOA fee.
Yeah.
If I had to
The
guess.
ever looming cause
So
of
what?
death.
So I have a theory, or not really a theory, but what's you guys' money in the fact that Martin Short has never directed a play in his life?
No, he's
No, he
directed a play.
definitely has.
He's definitely for theater person weighing in here. He definitely has directed, but had success like 20 years ago and hasn't been able to get work
Yeah.
since.
That's kind of what I'm getting off to. Or that's the vibe I'm getting. Sorry. Stop that, you.
He still thinks he's hot shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence the. And the crying's kind of covering up the dialogue. I need to enunciate more.
Yeah.
I died at that line. That was such a good line.
It was
That's an
spoiled
episode
for the
two.
trailer. The trailer kind of spoiled that one
It
for me,
did,
so I
yeah.
didn't laugh as hard. So
But also, so it's one of those things though. In the trailer, there's a moment where Tim like is in the elevator and looks at the camera and he's like, "In 15 minutes, I'm going to die," or
Like, yeah, that was just in the trailer though.
yeah.
I actually like it more because the trailer like reframes it and like misdirects you as to what you think is going to happen, but then the reveal afterwards of it, he's crying over his cat.
Yeah.
was just so fucking
That
hilarious.
that was awesome.
And then everyone else reacts like way more to the cat dying.
The cat died.
Everyone, oh no! Then the therapist or whatever pops up again. He's like, "I take Venmo."
Well, and of course I can remember
up.
the cat's name. You know, Evelyn.
I was about to
Evelyn.
say that.
There's a lot of
Evelyn,
before-
guys.
Okay, but
So-
to be fair, my great grandmother's name was Evelyn. So
Okay.
you know.
before we move on to episode 2, there was a bit in the first episode where Steve Martin is using his old TV cop
Brazo.
skills Brazo skills to break into the apartment using with a lockpick, which kind of sus.
But he couldn't.
And
No,
no,
he
what?
did. He
Why
did.
is it so easy
Oh.
to break into? Did they say that Selena Gomez's character has like keys or something, or
No.
was that a thing?
had in the past.
Because it's real easy to break into everyone's apartment in this fucking show.
Yeah.
But so he goes into this whole
Oh
monologue
no,
about
Mike,
how
Mike, I know what you're thinking of. I'll have Steve talk and then I'll respond to you.
Yeah.
he goes into this whole monologue about how was it that his dad was a huge piece of shit basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And he's a lot like his dad. So he prefers to
Isn't
be
so-
alone.
Yeah. My note is just quote alone isn't so bad, which is great speech. But then episode 2, we find out it's just line for line.
But I hope
from the.
Sorry.
They're
bit from
blurring
the
the
show.
line a lot on
Yeah.
how
It's
true
a mystery within a mystery show. We're trying to figure out like what's going on with this, and now we're also trying to figure out what the fuck, because none of our 3 main characters are on the level. None of them.
Nope.
I don't think.
They're all
Martin
kind of
Short-
pieces of shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Martin Short's the most on the level, I think, but he are the least sus out of all of them. Where they're like, I think he's just
Mostly
kind of
just-
a liar. But I don't see him doing any shady shit. Steve Martin and Selena Gomez seem a bit shady.
I think he's mostly just on the level because he's just bad at lying.
That's true.
But Mike, what you were thinking of was when this is now, I believe, in the 2nd episode, was when Selena did her Hardy Boys stuff, and her friend's dad was like the super or was like the janitor, so her friend got
Okay.
keys, and that's how they all got into like
Yeah. With,
Zoe.
I also watched these like 2 weeks ago, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I think Ryan was the
like-
only one that watched them recently.
yeah.
yeah.
But it is very fascinating that just making the victim as unlikable as humanly possible without
That is
being
an
evil,
interesting take.
which is
I
very,
love it.
I do love it too, and it's so very interesting seeing that and just trying to figure that out, because one of the things that they kind of alluded to in episode 1 is they detective through his trash and they find a ring. And
No, that was in the package.
that was in the package, and Mabel is the one that's kind of holding on to it, and she's putting it on her fingers, and then at the end of episode 1 it's revealed that he was one of the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
I like that emotional framing of the only one who cares about this guy is the one who is trying to investigate him. And
Yeah.
maybe we'll see like the good parts of him brought to life at some point. Who knows?
I mean, I would argue that the flashbacks, like, he's not like. By the flashbacks, I wouldn't call him a dick or like a bad guy.
He's just conceited.
I would say the
and-
other 2 friends are a lot worse in the flashback.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah.
They totally are. I mean, no one's great in this series so far.
And actually, I'll be the first to openly admit, I thought that, so just based off the season episode 1, when it showed the pictures of the Hardy Boys, I was like, oh, it's probably Zoe back for revenge.
Nope.
Because
Not
my,
quite.
yeah, no, my whole
No
thought was
question
that
mark?
my whole thought was that Mabel approaches Tim in episode 1, and she's like, you know what happened, and he's getting out, like, you know. So I thought that something would happen in the sense of like, he framed him or something, so Zoe's out for revenge or something like that. But
I mean, I
Nope.
think that
Do they actually give them names? I don't know. I didn't catch their names, so I just was like, okay, so we got Tim,
It's,
Mabel,
Zoe,
and Bonnie and Clyde. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oscar's the other name of the.
That's what I thought it
Oscar's
was.
the guy who
I
got
think it's
framed.
Oscar with a
I
K.
still think
actually.
he's
No.
going to be brought into the show at some point. But
Oh, yeah,
like,
totally. Oscar's
I don't
gonna
know
show
if
up,
he's
yeah.
the bad guy.
No, I mean,
Kevin-
he's too on the nose.
Yeah, Kevin thinks that's
Yeah.
too obvious.
But
So, I agree.
I do think what happened though was that the 3 of them, or the 3 of them disappeared, Zoe, Oscar, and Tim, and then someone pushed Zoe, framed Oscar, threatened Tim, and then what happened was Tim. It was already revealed that Tim's in financial trouble, so Tim probably started like blackmailing our mystery person. And the mystery person wasn't having it and killed Tim. I think
theory.
that's our motive so far, but I still have no idea who the mystery person is.
I think it's more interesting on the aspect of if he's that far in debt, why is he still hoarding all the jewelry? Because
I think that's all the jewelry Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because it's revealed that he's hidden all of the jewelry they stole years ago in Hardy Boys books.
Harry, we literally have a warning on the screen.
yeah, you dumbass.
Also, Tim dies in the first like 10 minutes.
yeah.
He is the
Yeah.
murder in the building.
Yeah. Although,
No,
although
it
the
says
one
it
thing
in the
we-
trailer too. So
The one thing we did not address from episode 1 that happens in the first like 2 minutes,
Was the kneeling over the body thing?
the kneeling over the body and
Oh,
Mabel
yeah.
being like, I can explain. It's like, oh,
can
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Someone else is gonna die.
we got the flash
Super
forward from.
fast.
So we got 2 months to go. So let's see where this builds.
If I
What
had
am I-
to
what-
guess,
Who wants to
that's
play Among
probably
Us
the
now?
murderer that Mabel kills because I feel like Mabel's got some feelings for Tim, and maybe
Oh yeah.
just
Duh.
maybe that ring was meant for her.
I doubt it now,
didn't
given the
get
amount
that
of
kind of
nudity
vibe.
Kevin, be
that's-
careful.
that's in there.
I don't know.
I didn't get that kind of vibe, but he was in all fairness, he was having that specific ring shipped to him, so.
I mean, you guys also had rings shipped to you. So.
Well, yeah, but
Well, no,
that's
I
what
think
I'm
it-
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I
He
think.
has,
Sorry, go ahead.
he has a ton of jewelry in there, but he wanted that specific ring sent to him. Like, it wasn't.
If I had to guess about the ring, if my feelings are true about like him being in love with Mabel and wanting to propose to Mabel, I think maybe he did propose with that ring at one point, and then their engagement was broken off or something. He got the ring back, stashed it away, wanted it back again. He died, and so that's why she's holding on to it because it's like it was her ring.
Or she just.
Someone
wants-
make fun of him when he's wrong, please.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. We're
Absolutely,
gonna point and laugh a lot.
absolutely. I mean, this is just my episode 1 and 2 guess, guys.
Yeah.
I still got time.
One
Yeah,
of
I
the
got time.
This
I
is
got
a very Kevin Core show.
Oh, yeah, every.
It's
mystery
a
show
murder
we watch is a
mystery
very
show.
Kevin show.
I know.
Yeah,
it's Kevin Core.
it's
I
very
suggested this
fun
show too,
to
by the way.
be like, I think one of the things that makes the show very that makes it work so well is like, yes, it's comedy, but it still feeds into the greater mysteries of what's going on. Like we talked earlier about the reveal of, oh my god, my cat died, and it's a funny ass reveal. But then later we find bloody paw prints in his apartment.
Mhm.
So that poor Evelyn
dun, dun.
was just having a joy stroll.
Oh,
and
yeah.
wandered on some shit that she didn't mean to see.
Mostly because cats just get into everywhere.
They do get into everywhere. I have far too many things baby-proofed for not having a human child in my apartment.
We
then,
didn't
like-
baby-proof much stuff.
But like my question becomes like, the cat might have stumbled upon the murder scene, but I don't think the murderer would have killed the cat like
Witnesses.
it's just, yeah, exactly. Like what's the
Like
point?
Red Dead
Like, no
Redemption.
witnesses. Like just
I
kind of
mean-
the cat saw.
Skyrim,
He's
where the
gonna
horse
tell.
has witnesses.
She.
Whatever. She's gonna tell.
She
Um,
go and tell.
One of
Does-
my favorite. Go ahead.
I was gonna try to wrap up, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I just wanted to. We kind of skipped over it, but I don't even remember what the context was. But one of my favorite lines from episode 2 was, "Old guys are only." Yeah, sorry. Old white guys are only afraid of colon cancer and societal change, and I fucking died on that one.
Yeah, it's true.
So
It-
good.
Also, sorry, the bit with Ursula that fucking got me too.
No, that was good too.
With Steve Martin just
Steve
not
Martin is-
giving a shit about her at all and just trying to fade it, and she's just not having it
She's
at
like,
all.
"I
She's
hate
just
you."
like,
Mhm.
Oh, you got that picture of me.
He gives out signed headshots of himself at fucking Chris's, and I'm just like, oh, the god, that's
That's some cringe
something,
right
I
there.
suppose.
One of the very interesting things I'm curious to see if it develops, is if if Steve Martin's character experiences some heavy character bleed, where if you don't know what character bleed is, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's basically when an actor plays a role and when they finish with what they're doing, the character still stays with them and kind of bleeds into their thoughts and their actions.
Borderline
And-
method acting.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, for someone who's experienced some mild character bleeding before, is wondering if part of especially with the Braza the monologue thing, is if he just has some very strong character lead with Brazos and can't separate Brazos and his own mind.
I
So
mean,
I'm very
this is a
Feels
show about
little-
this
Go ahead.
is a show about a podcast where where they're they're starting a murder mystery podcast, and the subject of the murder, it just so happens to be the close friend of one of the hosts. So I think the blurring of entertainment and reality is definitely going to be a major theme in this series.
She hasn't revealed to the other two that she knew Tim, right?
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's an
the
interesting
only
take,
oth-
though.
Yeah, just because again, it's something that I know that I've dealt with, especially for playing a character for long periods of time, that it's very hard to get out of that brain. So for playing
Renfair?
playing the same character for how long did he say Brazos was on for, like, what, like 10
I think
years?
10 years or something, yeah. So
Yeah, for playing the same character 10 years, like, that character bleed has got to be real.
that's very believable.
I think just something I wanted to. They showed a clip of Mabel watching old Brazos episodes at YouTube, and then he pulls like the Columbo. What's his? Anyway, he pulls out after his whole like turnaround with the line. He pulls out a fucking floss pick, and I'm just like, okay, that is certainly something. I'm just like, that is potentially the lamest thing for a detective to put in their mouth.
But
Like,
PG
toothpick
and
would be
TV.
cool.
It's TV appropriate,
Cigarettes.
It's TV appropriate. The kids can't see you smoking, puff puff.
Yeah, a toothpick would work.
though. Different. Though.
Even you could even do like the Y Kids version of One Piece and make it make it
A lollipop.
make it a lollipop
sucker.
instead of a cigarette.
Sanji!
Hey guys, have you ever had those candy cigarettes? They're disgusting. Taste like
Can't say that I
chalk.
have.
They taste
The
like
only
chalk.
one last thing I want to mention is just a small thing, is when Mabel's kind of having her inner monologue and talking to Tim, it was really cool seeing the transition of him normally to him get into the gore makeup and him progressively becoming deader. That was a very
That
cool.
was super cool.
I
And
didn't
then
catch
suddenly
that.
he's just gone.
Yeah.
I'll have to rewatch that scene because that actually sounds really yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
I think I was like furiously. I would think I was probably taking notes, so I wasn't paying full attention to the scene.
That's why you should take less notes.
That's fine.
Does anyone have any ending thoughts on the first 2 episodes?
Pee pee poo poo. No, it's good.
It's funny.
I enjoy it
It's
a
good
lot.
so far. I'm liking it so far.
With
I like it, but
that
not as a
opening
comedy.
scene, that opening scene of the ALS bit, I knew. I'm like, oh, they understand. The show understands.
I don't think it's quite my style of comedy, but like I'm enjoying the show for like not as a comedy, but as more of like a drama with some comedy mixed into it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take down the spoiler warning, and that will do it for
Harry, you can come back
only
now.
murders in the building this week.
He
Doesn't-
can't hear
Yeah,
us.
like it doesn't really help when he can't.
He also
hear.
can't read.
What? Can't read. Maybe you should get that
Oh,
looked at.
well,
buddy.
he's gone forever.
That side can't stop me because I can't read.
Oh, thank you,
Speaking
DW.
of things that are difficult, how's Elden
In
Ring,
reading.
Kevin?
Well, so yeah, and this is a topic I had up there: video games versus difficulty. I started playing Elden Ring. I'm enjoying it.
So sorry.
Haven't played it in a while. I'm actually having a blast so far.
You just had a lot of difficulty getting it fucking started.
Yeah, it eventually started. I got it to boot.
Maidens?
I have maidens now, or I have a maiden.
Oh, hey, something.
It's one of those things though.
Oh, that is Soko being a creep in the
Oh
background
my
there.
god.
Oh, there's Zai's, yeah.
Creepy.
Oh,
Am I?
they can't see it on stream. It's slightly off camera.
Can't see it on stream. You can see it on
I
here
saw-
though.
Move your
Yep.
shoulder.
I
then.
saw like
It's your camera, babe.
Oh.
I saw like a YouTube clipping of like some cutscenes with Ronnie, the four-armed girl,
I haven't met
and
her
like
yet.
goes all the way up to the end, and I was like, oh, I need to play this game now. Oh, I need this. Yeah.
I've played 2 decent sessions. One was scheduled. One was instead of Gloomhaven. The one that was scheduled that I played, I got to a point where like there really is no tutorial. Like you go through this little like you're dead area and you get back brought to life. It's pretty much teaching you movement controls. The game never actually tells you how to fight or anything. You just kind of gotta figure it out by yourself.
I thought there actually was like a little tutorial. Like there's like a beginning area. If you go off to the left, it dumps you into the game. If you go off to the right, it's kind of a little tutorial area.
Maybe
The
I missed
tutorial is Dark Souls.
Maybe I
Yeah,
missed
there
that. Then.
is a there is a tutorial area. It's just somewhat easy to miss, I guess.
Yeah,
from
I
what I've
guess I
seen.
missed it. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
how
think
easy it
that's
is to
it.
miss. I missed it. But so I kind of struggled through a bit. There's this, you go to the beginning area, and there's this like guy on horseback, and he's like the first like kind of like mini boss.
Big bad.
And I kind of avoided him because it's kind of tough. So I killed some guards, and I found this cave with some wolves in it, and eventually I kind of killed the wolves. And it's one of those games where you're expected to die.
Killed the wolves.
You're expected to die and come back to life. You know, retry the same area over and over again, because what happens is
Lost
that
all my souls.
well, what happens is if you go into an area, kill some guys, and die, if you do the same exact thing and recover your souls, you've got more souls now than you died
Souls.
with.
It's a Souls game.
Exactly. So these are runes in this game,
Yummy,
and then so you go level up and you become stronger as you die.
Touch
It's a
Grace.
soul. They're runes, sure. They're souls.
They're runes, yeah. And so a couple funny
Need
things.
to touch
actually.
Grace.
So
Touch.
I found a side boss in a cave, and I struggled with him for like half an hour, and then I eventually beat him.
back to
And
the
then
cave.
the next day, I like looked up like how difficult was that boss, and then like the article was like, veteran Souls players will know that this is a pretty easy boss, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there was this other thing where I didn't know how to level up, and then, so this is the other session where I'm playing with a couple friends, and I didn't know how to level up, and then they were like, "Oh, you just got to go to the Grace or whatever, and then you'll be able to level up." I'm like, "There's not an option there." It's like, "Okay, we'll just keep visiting Graces, and eventually you'll get a little cutscene." So I keep going to Graces, I keep touching Graces, and I'm just kind of
Stop
like
touching Grace.
I'm
Jesus.
touching Grace. I touched like 6 Graces, and they're like, "Should have happened after 3." I'm like, "It hasn't happened yet."
Stop touching
And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, am I supposed to be resting at these sites? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
You never played a Souls game before?
You can't
Kevin?
just flip the Grace and move on.
I've played one Souls game. I've played Dark Souls 1, and I played it for about half an hour.
Okay, look, I have played fuck all for Dark Souls. Even I know you're supposed to rest at the fucking
What-
bonfire.
Just touching the Graces give you your things back.
What that means?
So then essentially when you rest at a Grace, it heals you. It also brings back all the enemies, and it also refills your health flasks. But then, long story
This
short,
might have been in the tutorial.
yeah. Long story short, though, my friends kind of like we kind of worked together to get to the first like real actual boss, like the first required boss, and then they were kind of like, okay, you kind of got to fight this guy on your own, otherwise it's not really a Souls game. And I was kind of like, okay. So I'm like, this is no problem. I feel good. I've killed a bunch of smaller guys and stuff like that, and he killed me in like 5 seconds. So I guess this category is really this topic's up here because I just had kind of like the thought of everyone kind of has their own threshold for when a game becomes too difficult.
Yes, Steve.
And I
Yes,
just
I'm
kind of
gonna
wanted
share.
to just touch base, like, what is your tolerance for difficulty?
I play games, but me personally, I think I brought this up many times.
There is no wrong answer to this question.
No, I play games for the story. If a game doesn't have it has to have really stellar gameplay if I'm going to enjoy a game that has like bad story, like Borderlands 3. Story ain't that great. The gameplay, fucking amazing. So like I play that at least once a week, if not more. But I know deep down that as much as I want to give it a try, I will never be able to enjoy any of the Souls games.
No. Knowing you for this long, I know that you should stay away from them.
I know that too because I have an anger problem when it comes
Vanessa
to
wants to patch up like 5 different holes in the wall.
yeah, exactly. We don't want to be
Name's
like
Steve Kyle.
Why do you think they? Why do you think they hung up those photos in the background?
No,
Steve
but
can't
like
reach those.
Neither can you, Mike.
Sorry, it was too easy.
My height, fuckface.
I would say I am at least a couple inches taller than you.
That's not that tall, my dude.
Am I the tallest?
Yes.
Yes. How do you not know this?
That's weird because I don't consider myself tall.
You are.
You're not.
You're-
That's
No,
the
I'm not.
problem.
I'm average. We are a short group of friends.
I mean, I set the
but
Monica and I set the bar pretty low though. So
Yeah.
So I have anger issues when it comes to video games, and I've learned over the years what games to avoid. And I usually don't play, like, unless it's with you guys. I don't play multiplayer video games because I get competitive. And if I go like on a losing streak, I've broken a laptop. Monica knows this.
It's the stare.
Sorry, I gave you a little PTSD there. But like I'm better about it now. Like I know my triggers and I try to avoid them. And the Dark Souls games, 100% would be a massive trigger
I
for me.
honestly have more burned in my brain the mouse, honestly.
From college? Fair? I guess.
Oh yeah.
The mouse.
Yeah, I threw a mouse against the ground. It was
It wasn't against the ground.
the wall?
It bounced across that dorm room.
Yeah, as I said, I don't even remember what game I was playing anymore, but
Star Wars, one of the battle.
I'm guessing Republic Commando. Actually.
Republic Commando
Yes,
was kind of
Republic
tough
Commando.
at parts.
That's a tough game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Republic Commando. Yeah, as I said though, like I've become a better gamer or better at knowing my triggers and knowing what games to avoid. So I don't play games for difficulty. Like I'm attempting to replay Batman Arkham Knight for I think the third time now because I kind of burned out on it. My second playthrough because I just like to play through games every once in a while, and because there was a section where the Batmobile is very well implemented for the most part, but there's some like really precision driving you have to do like on walls and ceilings, and it was just it got to me, and I'm just like, I'm good, I'm good, and I uninstalled it, and to the point where it's just like I have beat this before. If I can't get past this, I'm just not going to play it. But I'm giving it another try, see if I have the patience for it this time.
I'm in like the same boat as Steve, because I have broken like a handful of controllers. What?
No.
Even before like I met you guys.
I-
Oh, I've seen you rage before. Your rages are scary.
I know. But I have broken controllers like even before I met you guys, and much like Steve, I know what my limits are, and even now if I'm playing a game by myself and I get slightly frustrated, and these are mostly like games for achievements, so they don't fucking matter anyway. I'll just stop it and uninstall it. And just not deal with it. But when it comes,
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
but when it comes to like multiplayer games, sort of like Steve, I do get a little competitive, but like, but I just go on long bursts of not playing it. So when you guys play Overwatch and you keep asking me and I keep saying no, that's why.
Oh, but you see, I feel like we've got a good team now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anyone else want to talk?
I'm very much on the. Did you have something?
I might have caused a seizure in myself.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 2.
I was trying to reach a place that I couldn't reach to yet in the game.
You were trying for like half an hour. You were screaming at the computer.
That's commitment.
And then yeah.
Assassin's Creed
Then
2,
I said- then I
don't
said-
think it's aged terribly well.
Then I said I didn't feel good, and then that's all I remember of that night until waking up at like 2 a.m.
In the hospital.
I was locked out of the dorm room.
Not my fault.
I was in the shower when that happened.
Not my fault. You didn't have your keys.
Yeah, that's true.
What'd you do?
I think you went to see Patrick.
No, Patrick came by. I was
Oh.
just sitting outside my dorm room, and Patrick just came by.
Did he have keys to unlock it for you?
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did.
That's funny.
Funny.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
part's funny.
I also I feel like the big thing is that there shouldn't be any shame in enjoying easy games. Like I have like 800 plus hours logged in Animal Crossing, and
Vanessa is currently playing Animal Crossing on the couch right now.
oh man, I so good. But
I haven't
it's just
touched
one
it
of
in a
those
while.
things where it's like that anyone who tries to be like, oh, you're like that tries to gatekeep because of difficulty is a massive dick. Like
Yeah.
it's it just let people enjoy what they enjoy, and gaming should always at its foremost be an enjoyable experience. And if you get enjoyment out of busting your ass on something really difficult, that's your prerogative,
Yeah.
and that's
If-
fine. Me, that's
Not-
not my prerogative,
Yeah.
and I will enjoy designing all of these vacation homes for these little animals.
If you like throwing yourself against a brick wall.
No.
Not everyone has the same patience as you, the regular Dark Souls player. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
To get good.
Mike, you look like you want to say something.
Kind of just touched on everything really as we went along, but I guess I kind of approach it from the creator side of things, where
Content brain.
So loud.
well, not even so much that, just more the mindset of how, especially with Soulsborne games, how difficulty plays into the atmosphere and the story itself. How if these games were not immensely difficult, I think the conversation around how they're viewed would be massively different.
Oh, yeah.
I think the fact that they are difficult is in a way part of the appeal, because that's part of the world of this game. It is a brutal, uncaring world, and so I think the difficulty of it in that sense is very much justified. So if I end up liking the story as much as I think I will, especially with all of the Berserk influences that they've shoved into this game, I think I would. I'm a shit gamer. I would contend that I might be one of the worst gamers amongst all of us, but I might be willing to throw myself into this game if I like the story as much as I think I will.
You're just technically multiplayer too, so I can hop on with you. And
Also,
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
just gonna
Together.
just let slide the fact that Ryan's first time he raged in his game was Backyard Baseball 2000?
Listen.
Hey,
I didn't know.
This is a tiny piece of shit.
No. The game glitched, and I didn't understand that concept back then.
It sounds like baseball in general, though.
I'm sorry. That's just so adorable and silly.
Harry
and
says you're decent at Overwatch, Mike.
Damn it.
Oh, thank you,
Good
Harry.
transition.
But,
motherfuckers.
Speaking of baseball,
Fuck you, Mike. I had a good one. I'm done. I'm not talking for the rest of the night.
go White Sox.
I'm curious to what Chris was gonna do
hold on,
now.
let's rewind.
No, I said, isn't, so you said, I didn't realize that was glitchy, so I said, isn't that what baseball is anyway? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
matter now.
pick up
Doesn't
on
matter
it.
now.
Anyway, okay.
Doesn't matter.
Sports corner.
Last time I mentioned Nippon Ham Fighters manager Tsuyoshi Shinjo changing his name to Big Boss.
Yeah.
Nice.
The motherfucker entered the team's arena for their home opener on a fucking hovercraft.
Nice. Please tell me he was wearing an eye patch and had a mechanical arm.
I couldn't tell.
Damn it. Wait, so the man is just a Metal Gear shitpost at this point.
Probably.
Nice. I'm down with that. Colonel. I'm
In
trying to play baseball, but I'm dummy thick.
I mean, you can be dumb if you can play baseball.
In 2001, an injury to 38-year-old baseball player to an 38-year-old baseball player opened up a roster spot for a young Albert Pujols on the St. Louis Cardinals roster. As of this year, both players are still being paid by an MLB team. Pujols has just signed a 1-year deal with the Cardinals and intends on retiring after this season. Bobby Bonilla, the player that got injured, allowing Pujols to get the spot in the first place, retired in 2001, but thanks to the New York Mets, baby, he's getting paid about $1.2 million a year until 2035.
What?
July 1st. Mark your calendars. That's Bobby Bonilla Day.
The Tampa Bay Rays brought a whole new meaning to slashing payroll and being so low budget that even the decals on the players' batting helmets started peeling off over the weekend. Philadelphia Flyers head coach Mike Yao decided to bench defenseman and current Ironman streak record holder for consecutive games started, Keith Yandel, thus ending Yandel's Ironman streak at 989 games started consecutively. Coaching staff said it was to allow some of their more younger, inexperienced players to get some ice time. Yandel respected the decision as he saw something like this coming. The honors of that title now goes to Arizona Coyotes forward Phil Kessel at 970 games started consecutively. There are not 30 games left in this season for him to do that. And the Coyotes are nowhere near playoffs. After 69 games played, the Ottawa Senators have a .420 win percentage.
Double nice.
Or point percentage, rather.
It's the funny numbers.
Some Montreal Canadiens fans were asked to leave Scotiabank Arena, home of the Toronto Maple Leafs, after receiving a game stick from Canadiens player Nick Suzuki. You see, that's what people are told. But what they don't fucking realize is that, yeah, the fan got the game stick from Suzuki. They had it throughout the whole game. Scotiabank has a policy where guest services will hold on to the hockey stick if a fan receives one until the end of the game. The fan can come check it out from them, and they can go home with it. They just don't want fans to use it on other fans and potentially injuring people. These fans held on it to the entire game because guest services never came by, but they realized it around the time of the third period when they were walking around the concourse. They gave their whole spiel about, like, hey, just check it in with us, we'll hold on to it and whatever. They said no and left on their own accord.
No. No.
Typical Montreal Canadiens fans trying to make up shit. But anyway.
I just wanted to know if you guys heard me scream nice all the way across
Oh,
my
we did.
house.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Having been a minute since we've last heard from NFL wide receiver and diva Antonio Brown, he recently told TMZ that he still hasn't undergone surgery on his ankle and won't until a team commits to him.
That.
Good luck with that.
Baby.
Well,
A.
That's a terrible medical. What?
A, no team is going to pick you up if your ankle's fucked. B, that's just a normal human thing that you're supposed to fix.
Not for him.
Speaking of head problems, Georgia Republican Senate candidate and former NFL player Herschel Walker has been saying in his speeches that he graduated in the top 1% of his class at the University of Georgia.
Doubt.
He didn't. What he probably doesn't remember is that Sports Illustrated did a feature on the fact that he left the University of Georgia after 3 years and never graduated to go play in the NFL.
Woof.
But go on. He probably forgot that part when he kept getting hit too much when he was with the short time with the Minnesota Vikings that people like to forget about. He's the reason why general managers are too afraid to trade star players now. And because he birthed the Dallas Cowboys dynasty in the early 90s.
He gave birth?
I sure hope not.
Congratulations.
The University of South Florida football team decided to not broadcast their annual spring football game via radio or television this year due to concerns that other programs will try and get footage of plays from their playbook, which is fine. More power to them. You know, I like to be. You know, I can be a little paranoid every now and then, but I don't think anyone anywhere would bother looking at practice footage of a team that's won all of 3 games over the last 2 years.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Whoa.
Danny.
Danny girl.
They got the winning mentality, though.
Whatever makes you feel better. While they are joining the Missouri Valley Conference for basketball next college basketball season, Murray State University will not be joining the MVC in football until July of 2023. Now, with schools joining a new conference of play, the current teams of that conference have to vote on accepting them. They received yeses from all but one school. And that one school, North Dakota State. Now, why is that? Scared?
Sorry, we're angry about them.
Why don't we like them again? I know I just had an instinct to boo them, but I forgot why.
They dominate the football season,
and they're all full of rednecks.
Yeah. Although their fans did appreciate our band better than their band, so just saying.
Well, you know where their priority lies. It's football.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit about anything else.
Well, their band also sucks.
I'm surprised they have a band, to be honest with you,
That's
without
true.
all the money they pour into the football program.
That's true, yeah. Well, they gotta have someone to, make their sounds, I guess. Although, I guess
just keep giving beer to the casual redneck that they have.
Yeah. Anyway.
Louisiana State University's basketball team, after firing head coach Will Wade, have 0 scholarship players left on the team.
That sucks.
11 players entered the transfer portal, 2 declared for the NBA draft, and 4 top 100 high school recruits decommitted from the university.
Oh my god.
And it's not now. This isn't just because LSU might have a bad program. LSU made the NCAA tournament this year as a number 6 seed, which is pretty good. Although they got upset by a number 11 seed, but it's the thought that it was there, that they made it that high.
It's
the thought that counts.
Someone with way too much time on their hands found Brooklyn Nets player Kevin Durant's MySpace profile.
Oh, do I still have a MySpace?
This is still a thing?
I never.
And it's just as cringe as you'd think.
Woo.
When was the last time it was updated?
Gotta see this.
I actually have it saved. Hold on.
Kevin Durant, MySpace.
There was while you're looking for that,
Oh.
Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie, because you realize how dated Iron Man is when Tony says something about don't go posting this on your MySpace page. It's like, oh wow, this is old.
And finally, Christian Eriksen, the Denmark footy player that collapsed on the field due to a heart attack, scored a goal on the same pitch he collapsed on almost 300 days ago for Denmark.
Wow.
Nice.
I just sent a photo of the MySpace page.
Oh my god.
I think my MySpace I haven't been on it since I was in fucking 8th grade.
Oh my god, his AIM name!
What is it? Oh, wait, he's got... Oh, no. MySpace has
Incredible.
changed a lot, though. I wonder how Tom's doing.
rolling in the millions of dollars he got from selling that shit and retiring.
He also,
Yeah.
friended everyone on MySpace, which is kind of funny. Also kind of weird when you think about that. There was a lot of preteens on MySpace when it first came out.
Yeah.
Are you done, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we're expecting some severe weather here tomorrow.
Not tonight, right?
Not tonight, but also now tonight's predictions, tonight's forecasts. Most of the severe weather will be in southern Illinois.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm seeing thunderstorms in my area starting around 10 a.m. tomorrow, going through like 5 p.m. So
Yep.
It's gonna
I mean,
be
for,
it's gonna
for,
be great taking my dog out to go potty.
for us in our area, it said like 8 a.m. thunderstorms. Then again, it's 6.
Maybe
but in between
the
is
bubble
rain.
will protect us.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
But then also all the
Oh, I
like
tasted
severe,
that alcohol again.
I'm not
all
getting
all
one
the
till tomorrow.
severe like tornado producing stuff is Southern Illinois. So, woohoo!
Oh God, my high tomorrow is 70 and my low is 37.
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be very
Illinois.
warm tomorrow.
Well,
and then drop.
that's why it's a tornado warning, because it's going from a hot place to a hot temperature to a small temperature. Fuck me, hot
Air pressure
temperature
changes.
to cold temperature. Make fumi.
Those are accurate weather terms.
Fumi.
Yeah, those were words.
Welcome
Okay,
to Illinois. You get
let's-
2 seasons in one day.
Sometimes 3.
3
We're-
usually.
let's move on.
Why?
Because we're already an hour and a half in. Steve.
I watched 2 weeks ago. I watched Captain America 2 on our me and Vanessa's Marvel movie rewatch-a-thon. Fucking slaps. Better than the first one. It's probably my favorite serious Marvel movie. Without mine, maybe minus like Infinity War and stuff like that, but without Infinity War and Endgame, it's my favorite serious Marvel movie because like Thor, I think I like Thor 3 better than it, but it's this, but you know there aren't a whole lot of laughs in the Winter Soldier. It's very much a serious like serious-ish spy thriller movie, and I gotta say, all these years later, that elevator scene is still so fucking good. Before we get started, does anyone want to get off? Oh, it's so good.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's so good. That entire movie is just good. Him, Sam, and Steve just kind of talking shit at each other. I know, on the left. Shut up. Yeah, the highway scene's pretty good too, where Sitwell gets yoinked out of the car and splattered by a truck, a Penske truck, if I'm not mistaken, which seemed to have like a product placement where it where one plows into Nick Fury's car and it's just, oh no wait, it plows into the bad guy's cars. It's pretty good. Well, yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. And this past weekend, my brother's actually going traveling for like the next 6 months. So me, my brother, and Stefan did a bad movie night. One of our monthly bad movie nights, and we watched Velocipaster. Yes, I said that.
Heard of this?
It is great. It's a purposefully bad movie. It's not an accidentally bad movie, but it does it well where you're still laughing your ass off at it, even because like you could totally see this being something like The Room. It's a lot of fun. And then we watched it's about a pastor that turns into a velociraptor and fights crime and befriends and gets romantically involved with a prostitute who then dies at the end, and he fights ninjas, and it's Chinese ninjas. It is a movie.
I need to see this now.
It's so good. Velocipaster. It's on Prime.
Oh.
Then we saw Shark Boy Lava Girl, an accidentally bad movie by Robert Rodriguez. It is
Baby Taylor Lautner.
Oh my god,
And
Baby
George
Taylor
Lopez.
Lautner is
Such
honestly
a
the best
dick.
part of that movie because he's
such
just
a
such
dick.
he's such a mood. Calling the rest of them out, calling Linus out in his not Linus, who's the main
Max?
character? Well, I don't remember what the main
Isn't it
character's name
Max.
is. I'm calling Max out on his stupid like angsty bullshit.
I think I've ever seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
It's a treat.
It's not good. It's fun, not good, but it is not good. Like some of the special effects are genuinely good. Like when they're in the ice realm, these effects are really good. But then you get some of the worst. Like it was originally released in 3D, so there's a point where you have to put your like it tells you to put your 3D glasses on, and they obviously capitalize that in several scenes, like a cuckoo coming directly at the screen. It's like, gee, I wonder if that was supposed to be 3D.
Why'd you hit my mic?
And some of the effects, like it came out in like 2008 or something like that, or I don't remember. It was not recently, but it was the effects, like even for then, looked terrible, and I'm just like, oh, that looks really, really bad. The dad looks like dollar store. I found it, okay, 2005. The dad in the movie looks like dollar store Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
It's. I'm not sure if I recommend it, but if you have enough alcohol in you, it's fun. It's fun to poke fun at and just how ridiculous it is, and there's baby Taylor Lautner in it. Apparently the girl reprised her role as Lava Girl in something called like We Can Be Heroes recently, but they didn't get Taylor Lautner back.
No, they got just some random. Taylor Lautner was probably like, "I'm a Twilight superstar. I don't need to be but Shark Boy again."
He's not doing like much of anything.
He probably doesn't want
days.
to act. Actually, he's probably like living his life, which is fine.
I mean, if I looked like a llama too, if I looked like a llama, I don't think I'd want to act much
I'm
either.
gonna come over there
Alpaca,
and kick you in the
not
dick.
llama.
No,
Alpaca?
he is pretty. Shut up.
He's a moderately pretty guy.
So you think the Shark Boy and Lava Girl worlds would be in the new Kingdom Hearts?
No.
They don't. They're not owned by
Dad.
Disney.
Oh,
Bad.
oh, that was
Also-
a Kevin level
also,
transition.
if they were-
pain.
If they were,
Hold
it
on,
would be
is that
awful.
Disney? Let's see.
It's not.
No.
It's like whatever studio releases
Ow.
Spy Kids.
Thank you for kissing me. Please don't bite me.
That'd be like Bad Robot. Is that
It's
James Gunn?
Miramax, Columbia Pictures. This might be CBS.
Okay.
Can I have my arm back?
Anyways, so yeah, Kingdom Hearts
Kingdom
4 was
Hearts.
announced.
Sir,
Big shocker to actually everyone
biting me.
because there wasn't like 85 games in between 3 and 4. There was only one.
What game came out in between 3 and 4?
Melody of Memory.
For what system?
It was on Switch and PS4, I think. It's a rhythm-based game.
Can I have my
Oh, well,
hand
that
back?
doesn't count.
No.
There's lore in it. There's plot.
Because it's Kingdom Hearts.
Because it's Kingdom Hearts.
Even the rhythm music things have plot.
Yes, even the rhythm music game has plot to it.
You let go of my arm.
And I honestly, like, watching the trailer the first time, wasn't vibing on it. I was just kind of like, this looks
It has
really...
a weird aesthetic.
I was like, this looks really cool and really pretty, but it's not Kingdom Hearts. This looks like Final Fantasy.
It looks too real.
Well-
Actually, I didn't even watch the
getting
trailer,
there.
but like
Just
some
Steve,
of the screenshots.
let Kevin talk.
Nah.
No, it's fine. You can keep talking, Steve.
I was just saying, like, I've just seen like some screenshots, and I'm like, that looks like photorealistic. What the fuck is happening here? Isn't like Kingdom Hearts like super cartoony?
This is what Kevin's going to talk about now.
It is, and that was my concern, is that they were making it super cartoony. And at the end of the trailer too, you see Donald and Goofy, and they look the exact same as they did in Kingdom Hearts 3. So that was kind of like, okay, maybe they're not completely changing the style. And the game creator and director Tetsuya Nomura actually clarified in an interview that Sora only looks that realistic because he's in that world.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
makes sense.
figured.
Yeah, in the Kingdom Hearts universe, the appearances of the main characters do kind of change depending on the world they're in. So, like, I mean, even in Lion King, they're animals. In Little Mermaid, Sora's a mermaid, and like, you know, merman, whatever. In Pirates of the Caribbean, he looks more realistic.
No, he's still a mermaid.
So this is more like realistic because he's kind of in like the real world, and he has to do taxes now. And there's cars, which means that there could be a Cars world.
Yeah,
is that
let's-
meme you saw of him trying to pick up a Keyblade with his tire?
Yeah.
That's
dumb.
you know, they just keep going left. It's fine.
But more importantly,
They're left.
Star
Lord.
Wars World.
Star
MCU
Wars World. Yes. So during the trailer, they showed off a bunch of forest shots.
I know, baby.
And at first, it's like, oh, this is pretty. And someone freeze framed it and kind of brightened an image, and you can kind of see like a metal
Let me go.
disc on the ground at the top of a scene. And then someone took a picture of an AT-AT or
ST.
sorry, ATST. Yep.
Oh.
No, see, it's not at because ATST. You don't say it's not an at.
it-
It's Yep.
Is it the chicken walker or the quadruped?
Chicken. It's Endor is what I'm getting at. Essentially, they took a photo of its foot.
He's going to get one.
I am.
and they compared it. Yes, that one. They compared it to the image in the trailer, and they're like identical. So people are now like, oh, they're doing Star Wars. Which honestly, like the Battle of Endor would be a cool scene to do because like the gang lands on Endor, helps them like take down the shield generator, and then Sora maybe goes up to the Death Star and helps Luke like fight the Emperor. If I had to guess, maybe the Emperor's been possessed by the Heartless or something.
Steve, this is a game with Disney characters in it.
Oh,
It's
I
nothing is
can't
off
wait
limits.
to see Goofy just bash the shit out of Emperor Palpatine.
Well, no, he's gonna be doing Chewie's part on the Battle of Endor. He's gonna be throwing stormtroopers out of
Yep.
the ATST. And
Ripping
I-
their arms off.
I already saw a prediction too that if they go to the Marvel world, they're gonna end up talking to they're gonna end up talking to Iron Man because they're gonna modify what the arc reactor does. It's gonna be the arc reactor keeps darkness out of his heart or something. And I was kind of like, oh god, it's so cringy, but it works.
But that's why they're making him
I
into
felt that eye roll from here.
that's probably why
God.
they're making his hell like this all fuck.
It's probably proof of concept that they can mess with more live action worlds because I mean they did Pirates of the Caribbean in Kingdom Hearts 2 and it looked okay, and then
Yeah.
it looked even better in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean world looked really good, and now they're like, okay, we can go more live action probably.
When did Kingdom Hearts 3 come out? This was only like a couple years ago, wasn't it?
2019, 2018.
Yep.
Oh,
But,
God,
I
really?
It came out in the before times. That's why it felt so long
Yeah.
ago.
Doesn't exist.
So one of the things Kevin told me is he's like they got rid of Sora's floofy hair or spiky hair, and I'm
They
like,
got rid of his anime hair.
I'm like, dude,
and his big ass shoes.
he's 20 now,
Kevin,
so
I-
you lose all your fun shit when you become an
Kevin,
adult.
I know you love Kingdom Hearts, but the more you tell me about it, the lamer it sounds.
It's awesome,
like it.
Steve.
It's fun.
This time around, his keyblade, the chain on the end, turns into a grappling hook.
Okay, that is cool.
Right?
All right, that is mildly interesting. I'll
Right?
give you that.
Every game is made better with a grappling hook.
Yes.
Halo.
I mean,
Yes.
it's true.
Can't disagree with that.
Assassin's Creed
Syndicate was
Yeah,
was
I
fun with a
love. Oh
grappling
my
hook.
god, I love Syndicate.
Oh,
Syndicate's fun.
Oh. I'm also all in. You know me. I love gangs and stuff like that. So
oh god,
You
Ned
do?
just brought up that we're gonna see
yeah.
Jar Jar in Kingdom Hearts now.
also, it's not in the 1920s, but I like the 1800 era England, and then I really want a 19. I don't know why. I really just want a 1920s Assassin's Creed. It's not gonna happen, but I want speakeasies.
No,
Yeah,
I think
too many
eventually
guns.
we're gonna get
Not
a.
enough swords.
I want speak. Well, you could still stab someone with a gun.
Yeah, but the whole core concept of Assassin's Creed is melee. Sorry,
I'm
melee.
sorry. What now?
You don't know that he
You
says
know
it like
how I
that.
Pronounce it.
Um,
Melee weapon comp. You know what? I don't care.
well, you know
anymore.
what?
Melee.
In Hamilton, he even says stab them with the bayonet. So ha!
Well, yeah, you could do that in the like 1800s.
They've already covered the
sure.
Revolutionary War.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I want a 1920s Assassin's Creed where there's speakeasies and I get to kill people
Yeah.
and drink.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Sure.
um,
The drink.
Let's wrap up with a lighthearted topic.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Well, okay.
Is it the cum goblin?
Yeah. So what?
It's
I mean, if that was a piece of technology released in the 2000s,
So I was watching. So I don't watch all that much Twitch outside of you guys, honestly, because I mainly watch the VODs of the YouTube content creators that I watch that have Twitch. And there was a topic that came up on one of the people I watch their morning podcast, or not podcast, morning stream, about like weird, like wacky Y2K kind of technologies. Like one of the things they brought up was like the pen that had a radio in it, and one of the things that I remember specifically was that they mentioned was hit clips. Do y'all remember that? Whereas like
Oh yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
little-
No,
I remember it,
I had
never
a
had it.
little boombox, and it played like like 15 seconds of a song.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Oh my god,
Wait,
yeah.
15 seconds of a
It
song.
wasn't even a full song.
No,
I
yeah.
remember being interested in it and then trying a friend's out, and I'm like, this is stupid.
I had
What's the
Baby
point?
One More Time, by the way. That
me-
was my one hit clip that I had.
Let me
I had
hang on.
what? So were you done with the intro to conversation?
Yeah, that was pretty much. And I was just gonna mention one of the things that came out from the recesses of my memory was I remember having this thing called Video Now, where it was like this portable video player to watch, and I had like
It was Nickelodeon, right?
it was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And you
I had
watch,
that one,
and I
think.
remember watching Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob on this like screen that was probably about this big,
Yep.
and in black and white. I'm like, oh my god, I could bring this everywhere.
Didn't they also release a Game Boy Advance version of TV shows like that? I seem to remember having Game Boy Advance cartridges that played shows.
Yeah, it's either
Oh,
that
yeah.
or they made it like an adapter for the GameCube.
Or something. No, there was a GameCube adapter for Game Boy Advance games, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, those.
holy shit.
yeah. I remember I had
yeah.
a Pokemon one and a Nickelodeon. I think I had a SpongeBob one or something.
Yes,
Was this,
they
like,
made
full
quite a lot of
Pokemon
those.
episodes.
Yes, they are full episode. There are 2 episodes on each one.
Nice.
Which is why it's stupid that the hit clips was only 15 seconds of a song. It was my random toy I remembered was I had
it's
this.
not just toy, it's also like games and stuff.
I know, but mine was a toy.
Okay.
I had this thing called Scanners, and it was this thing. It was like this little handheld device.
Oh,
that
the
you
movie?
No, you scanned barcodes with it, and then the barcodes were there
Oh!
were monsters hiding in the barcodes.
Yeah,
and then you could collect or fight them. And
The
it was
2000s were weird.
yeah. I remember bringing it to grocery stores, just going, "Mom, slow down! I gotta scan this barcode." My mom was like, "No, we're not slowing down." And like, "Mom, I gotta
That's
scan
kinda
this
cool,
barcode."
though. So I know Borderlands actually did something for Borderlands 2 did that like a number of years ago where where there was like a phone app where you could scan like barcodes and QR codes and it would like using it would like randomly generate like a weapon for you that you could like then transfer to the game, which they just continued it a number of years, like as I said, like 5 plus years ago, but it was really cool at the time.
The gap between AOL becoming a thing and social media becoming prevalent is just filled with technology and the internet being used for the weirdest gimmicky shit possible.
Okay. But in Y2K in the 2000s, fucking Club Penguin came out. That was the shit. Also, Neopets came out the year before 2000 hit, but also Neopets and Tamagotchis, but that was 1995. But still, I killed every single one I had.
I feel like I missed out on like all of this because I can't think of a single piece of like rando technology that I had, but I guess my parents have never been the most like
There was a point where
tech
Neopets
toys.
there was a point where Neopets was almost owned by Scientology.
Oh,
I'm sorry, would you care to elaborate on that?
I don't know all of the
it's not-
details,
well, it's
but like
not
one of the
owned-
main
it's
one of
not
the main
owned now.
investors was a big Scientologist, but
Oh,
they
hang on.
like
terrifying.
One sec.
Yeah.
Harry, just type into your browser neopets.com and look it up for yourself.
just send them straight to the website.
just here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Just and check it out, and it's pretty fun, kind of addicting, and your animals die half the time, but they don't actually die fully. They just say if you
They
don't
just starved to
They
they
leave.
just say starving. No, they don't leave.
Oh.
They just say starving if you don't feed them.
mine are
Jesus.
probably starved to death. They haven't been fed in like
I need
15 years.
Ooh, let's see if I can activate my Neopets account.
Oh, God.
I just want to do it for the games, though. I had a Lupe at one point. So, log in.
I have
Let's
no idea what
see.
any of these words
I
mean.
had Scorchio and then whoever the fuck the tiger was.
So is this just dollar store Pokemon basically?
Except it wasn't $1.
More internet-based Pokemon,
Fair.
Oh, well, I get, hang on. Yeah,
but not
You weren't
Digimon.
on there long enough, Harry. You didn't create a pet or anything.
Yeah, Harry, don't worry. I grew up in this generation. I don't know what the fuck it is either.
It's essentially a virtual pet.
Yeah, you have multiple virtual pets
What?
though, so.
Like Tamagotchis.
Kingdom Hearts is releasing Tamagotchis.
Oh, I have 4,400.
There are Kingdom Hearts Tamagotchis coming out
I don't.
next year. This year.
What?
This
What?
Kingdom Hearts
But what are they going
Tamagotchis
to be? Like,
characters.
Harry, just get a real pet.
I forgot about
they
that.
get messy if they die.
Kingdom Hearts Tamagotchis. Anyways,
What's going to be in? Is Donald going to be in the Tamagotchi?
I think I mean
hope
Sora, Riku, Kairi, and then there's also Heartless. I think. I'm gonna get one. It's gonna be great.
Okay, let's see what let's see what. this is.
Anyways,
Wait, you got in?
I had to reset my password, so I went to my AOL
Oh, yeah, it
account.
still runs.
I think we're gonna wrap up the podcast.
Looks like
here.
I haven't logged in for a while. Verify
2
my
hours in.
birthday. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have time to play Minecraft or anything.
Oh, dark joke.
Verify my birthday. Okay.
But yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. Maybe next week we'll have a Chris shows off their Neopet segment.
Would be here for that.